snow already, and hopefully we'll expect some more soon. And by Christmas, we'll have White Christmas as well. But there's some time before that, and we have all gathered here from different countries, Finland, India, Indonesia. It's a really pleasure to have you all here and gather to discuss and learn about some very interesting and important topics. By now, if you weren't 100% sure where you're coming to or where you're joining to, you're joining a webinar for transforming schools by principals leading innovation and excellence. We will be having 5 very inspiring and innovative and creative principals from around the world who will be presenting case studies from their own work and schools. Before that, I would like to warmly welcome you all, and here in the meeting room, you also will see some of our team members who have been doing fantastic work of putting this webinar in action in such a short notice. And you will also have our directors welcoming and following our webinar today. But in the very beginning, what I would like to do is to remind that this webinar is recorded, and it is live streamed in our YouTube channel as well, and it will be visible there afterwards as well if you'd like to share the webinar with any of your colleagues or family members or friends. Well, again, warm welcome. We are thrilled to have you and join us here in a transformative journey. This event celebrates the groundbreaking innovations and leadership of school principals, showcasing their role and shaping the future of education all around the world. So I hope you are ready, because you will be getting inspired by stories of success, creative problem solving, and impactful strategies that have brought meaningful change to schools, not only in Finland, but also in India and other countries. So let's dive in and explore how we can collectively lead way to exceptional excellence. Before we get started to that and get our first principal to speak, I would like to introduce myself. I will be your host for this evening's or afternoon's webinar or morning's webinar, wherever you're calling from. My name is Joachim Rowley, and I work as an education growth manager here at CCE Finland. As this role, my biggest responsibility and pride is to look after and take excellent care of our community members of approximately 10,000 heads. And these community members are scattered all around the world, who consist of university students becoming the future educators, teachers and principals in schools, as well as leadership in terms of education in governmental institutions as well as a very important stakeholder in the school ecosystem, parents. So without this entire ecosystem, we could not provide the best possible services for our future leaders. And as we are, CCE Finland, our Council for Creative Education Finland, is hosting today, I wanted to give you a quick glimpse of who we are before we continue to the other topics. See, all right, and we will put the full screen as well. Nandini, could you kindly confirm that you can see my screen and it's in full view?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So indeed, welcome to the webinar hosted by Council for Creative Education Finland. Why we exist is that we want to bring a holistic learning development all around the world. And we have decided to do that by bringing educational innovation from Finland and localizing in the best practices in the local settings. And we have decided to select also creativity as the founding principle of all this operation, and as well as curiosity, because without these, learning would be quite a dull experience, and learning, as challenging as it is, really requires inspiration and creativity from each learner as well as educators. I mentioned this network of approximately 10,000 people. What connects these members there, and I'm sure many of us here today, most of us here today, is the curiosity towards, or the will and inspiration to offer the best possible innovative resources, services, and products to whether it's our learner, whether it's about the teachers in our schools, or whether it's the parents that we want to operate and bringing along to this journey of collaborating in the educational sector. The other very important connector is that there's this increasing curiosity towards Finnish education. And it can vary a lot. It can be that we are networking our a community member, somebody has read enormous amount of research papers about Finnish education. They might have visited already Finland, but there's still something lacking. The other members can be that they know something about Finland. They have heard about that there's a system in place in Finnish education that is widely known and respected around the world. But that's pretty much it. So what those conversations will take place is to really learn about Finnish education and what are the best practices that we can implement in the local setting. So when we have these conversations, we offer services and products. These are these main four categories that we'll present here quickly. The first one and the most popular perhaps are professional development services and school development services. Professional development in areas of social emotional learning, assessment methodologies, about curriculum development. And I saw that there are actually quite a lot of people with curriculum development background here in the meeting today. So hopefully we will learn something new. And we offer these as everything from 4 to 6 week self-paced programs online, all the way to 6-month intensive master training programs. So anything in between, and topics such as social emotional learning, school development, teacher training, and especially in this recent years, AI and ICT have been vastly growing in importance. And then we move to school development projects. These can also vary from long-term 3 to 5 year projects, where we look at where we can implement completely new schools around the world, and then having shorter, more agile forms of it called accreditation. And accreditation is something that we will be discussing a little bit towards end of this webinar, where we'll be telling more about it. But the founding principle is to simultaneously look at some of the successes that the school or organization is already doing, putting it on a platform that it well deserves. But at the same time, as we are constantly developing, we are going to do an immersive 360-degree analysis and a gap analysis of some of the goals that the school has, and what are some of the programs that we can develop to guide them towards that direction. But we'll be discussing about that a little bit later on. But as also mentioned, that we are a research-based organization. We offer conferences around the world as well from symposiums and educational tours, because we could have multiple webinars like this. We could be talking about Finnish education or global education as long as we wish. We could be watching videos, but in the end, to really understand something is to experience it. And this is the reason why we want to offer these educational tours of different forms, to visit us in Finland, to visit the schools, talk with the principals, talk with the educators, meeting your colleagues, and meeting the parents as well. So to learn about the education is to really experience it. But without further ado, I wanted to show you just final thing before we continue. We do not do this work alone. We could not do this work in the science a high level consistently without our collaborators and partners in universities, governments, schools, both private and international as in public, and as well as private companies and other organizations. So a big heartwarming thank to all of them. And hopefully we'll be having more partners after these webinars. But it has been a long monologue from my side, and we are dying to hear, at least I am, our first presenter. And I will introduce her quickly. Here we are. Here we are. Like so. Our first presenter is Greshma Momia. Please welcome our first speaker of today, a founding principal of Pathoma World School. While leading the school, there's room to support others as a consulting role and a curriculum development teacher trainer. Please, heartwarming welcome to Mrs. Greshma Momia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm in Bangalore. I'm from Bangalore, southern part of India. And though it's not as cold as Finland, but it's got a little pleasant with the onset of winter coming in. Okay, so I work as a principal of Pratna World School in Bangalore. We are a CBSE and a Cambridge board school. And today I'm here to share some innovative pedagogies that we are already implementing and using it in our school. Okay, the first one is, which is so close to my heart because this is the first time we are doing it, is the student journal. So every champion of our school, so we don't call our students as students, but rather we call them as champions, and we give them a champion journal. Now, champion journal, of course, has some basic details, but then they also get the opportunity to, create their vision board, and then, people who inspire them, So we are actually knowing children, not just at the surface level of their favorite color and, favorite food and all, but actually people who inspire them and, what makes them happy, like the small joys. And one important thing that we also have is habit tracker, right? Where we are actually inculcating based on the concept of from the book Atomic Habits. We have taken that concept and we've created a habit tracker because we want to teach children how to build habits in their life, right? And then of course we have at the beginning of quarter, like in June, they filled this page for June, July, August, where they are thinking about what they want to do in the next 3 months of their time in the school. So every day we have daily reflection. So last 15 minutes of our time before children go to school is dedicated to reflection, where we have these questions that we are already there in the journal. For example, the one question is, what was your favorite part of today's learning? Or it is also, did you work with a partner or in a group today and how did it go? So every day they kind of reflect on one question. So there is one question every day, and for 20 days in a month, we have made 20 days, 20 questions. And we also have reading log at the end of this journal where children are making a list of the books that they have read, and also telling us what were the takeaways for them. So this, I think, how it has helped our children is initially we observed that in the month of June and July, because children were not used to, reflection, or they don't know what reflection was. Any question, they would just write, nothing in big, handwriting, and they didn't know what to do. But over the months, over the days, by using different strategies, now children say that, the space given in the journal is not enough. And what they have started reflecting, and one feedback that we got from parents was that when they come home, after the school, they are actually sharing with us what happened in the day. Because this is one complaint that most of the parents have, when children come home, they don't tell us anything because they don't get time to reflect or think what happened in the school. By giving them that 15 minutes window to reflect, they kind of, it's almost like metacognition. They're just thinking what happened the entire day, reflecting on it, so that, they have something to share with their family also. So this is one thing that we have observed. We've also been able to identify if the child is having any emotional issues because of this, because we kind of, if the child is, there's a change on the behavior of the child, we just go and, have a look at the student's journal and see what they're reflecting or what they're sharing. So this is one new thing that we started in our school this year. And the second pedagogy that we have used is thinking classroom. If you come to our classrooms, there is of course one smart board for the teacher to kind of show the videos and also write on it. But apart from that, there are 3 whiteboards in our classroom, and that is for children, for our champions. Okay, so after reading couple of researches, our co-founder, Mrs. Lakshmi Shivrama, she finished her master's M.Ed from Harvard, and I think we got that idea from her learnings from Harvard, wherein the research says that when the children are sitting and discussing, or when any human being is sitting and discussing, the thoughts are not flowing so freely as compared to when a group of students are actually standing and reflecting or discussing. Okay, so that's why we've made a point where any discussion, any math problem that they need to solve in the group, they need to go to the board, write their thoughts, brainstorm their ideas, and that's how the thoughts flow for them. And the second reason of doing a whiteboard is whenever if a child has to write it on a notebook, they always have a fear of someone checking it, right, or putting it across, or telling them that okay, this is wrong. So they do not express their thoughts or discussions as freely, in comparison to when the child is given an opportunity to kind of share their thoughts on the whiteboard, which is erasable. So they are more confident to share their thoughts on the whiteboard. And this, how it has impacted children is that they really look forward for the discussions. Okay, they are able to share their thoughts openly, because now we do not kind of give out definition, or we do not explain the concept. We do the activity or make them experience a concept, then comes the discussion, and through this discussion they understand that concept. And most importantly, children have got confident in expressing their thoughts. And I'm talking about grade 3, grade 4, grade 5 children who are actually brainstorming and coming up to a concept and leading to a concept. So this is the second pedagogy that we are using. We are calling it as thinking classrooms, because children get opportunity to really, really think, right? And the third, so first we finished reflective reflection from in our journal. Second was our thinking classroom, and third one is design thinking. Okay, this was one of the highlight of this academic year. So we had our grade 4 and grade 5 children going to a mall, okay, to identify problem. They found it little difficult to identify the problems, but with our facilitators who were able to guide them, they were able to identify certain problems. For example, there is our mall that they went to was not so friendly for old people or for people with physical challenges. They also identified that there is not much room or space to sit. Okay, and if there are chairs or if there is a seating arrangement, then there is no space left to move around. So after, sorry?
Just reminding, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, sure. So after, identifying all the problems, we made them into groups, and they came back to school and they discussed those problems and came up with one solution. So the entire design thinking, process of empathy, ideation, prototype, everything was done. They also made things which could resolve the problem. For example, they made a foldable chair that can be used in the mall. So when someone wants to sit, they can put it down. And if they are not using it, they put it back. So that way they made five products. And then we had a presentation in front of the mall owners and in also front of the parents. Now, they were, of course, amazing. They were able to first understand what empathy is, and they were able to empathize with people. The most important thing that happened after the entire design thinking project was when we asked them, what did you learn from this, or what was your experience? They said, ma'am, now if we have a problem, we know step by step how to go about it. And that was the biggest learning for children. And these are the 3 innovative pedagogies that we are using in our school, Pratna World School, and it has really create an impact on our champions. Thank you so much for CCE for organizing this webinar and giving me the opportunity. All the best for the upcoming speakers, and thank you, audience, for listening to me patiently. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greshma. That was truly, truly inspirational. And we'll have a Q&A session at the very end of this webinar. So I cannot wait to see some questions. And if you already have some questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. So Greshma can already start preparing a little bit, and we can also answer. So if you have any questions, you can already put them in the chat. But there will be an official Q&A session at the very end. Our next speaker, Dr. Radhika Srinivasan, unfortunately could not make it here today, but she is currently holding a position as a principal in Billabong High International School. And with her vast educational experience and research experience, she's also a keen naturalist, passionate in sustainability and environmental educator, holding multiple master degrees. So let me just share her video, and she will do the introduction for herself. Just a moment. Here we are. So. Let's put that full screen. Like so.
Joachim, we can't hear. You need to share it again along with the voice sound.
Let's see. Let's see.
Nandini, if you have it, it's better to you share it so that it will be full screen as well.
Nandini, do you have the opportunity to do so? Because
Yes. 1 minute.
at the moment.
Joachim, you can stop sharing so it will be easier. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, by the time we are getting set up with this technical part, here is a good announcement for all of us. My name is Hiram Kulkarni. I'm a director at CCE here, and I take care of the research as well as developing the school design programs and EdTech solutions for CCE Finland. And we are approaching our 12th International Symposium on Creative Education. Through this program, we are going to plan mainly about the area of education leadership. And during the conference, we are going to discuss about various education leadership models, pedagogical leadership, as well as you will be having an interaction with key leaders and educators across the globe. We are expecting participants from at least 20 countries this time, and mainly they are from universities, high schools, primary education, as well as secondary education and early childhood education. So it's a great opportunity for everyone to come together, discuss this part. And we just don't want to make this as an event for 1 or 2 days. The event actually is for 2 days, but we expect everyone to come up with their ideas and propose the models which are required for the future learning. And for that, we have developed one program called as an AI-enabled schools program. And right now we are collaborating with the schools across the globe to get them on board and how to develop the leadership for the technologically developed world in the future. So you're all welcome to join that program. I'm sure that by that time I'm explaining this part, our team has already done the basic things ready. If not, then otherwise we can continue with the next point. So Nandini ma'am, what is the status? Can you tell me?
Actually, I have shared here. Till that time, next participants can go ahead.
Let's do that then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So without further ado, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Mrs. Esra Dworkham, who has joined by... Sorry?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you
Yes.
pronounce it correctly. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Very good. So, with a passionate educator with nearly 20 years of experience in the education sector, with the dedication to make long-lasting impact on colleagues and learners, she's a Cognia volunteer in the development of schools with school auditing in Egypt and internationally, and she'll be talking about transformational leadership. So without further ado, welcome, Ms. Esra. Floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity for joining this webinar, especially that it came from CCE, and I'm considering myself as a graduate from CCE. I just finished my pedagogical leadership, which really affects my career tremendously and outstanding way. Okay, today I'll talk about the transformational leadership, and honestly, I was considering, like, should I go for a personalized learning experience for learners, or should I go for transformational leadership? I chose transformational leadership because it really affects a very important thing, the core of any academic entity, which is knowing the ikigai of any entity. I don't know if you're aware of this word or not, but ikigai is very important to know what is your academic entity needs and the core of the academic entity that requires the learners to be when they graduate. So that's why I chose the transformational leadership. Before starting the procedures or the strategies that I've been applying myself for applying the transformational leadership, I just want to tell you something, which is, that's my quote in academics or in educational journey. If your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader. That's John Quincy Adams. And I really like this quotation. So what is the transformational leadership? And what is the difference between transformational leadership and transactional leadership? Honestly, transformational leadership is the leadership that inspires, motivates the whole team to achieve extraordinary outcomes, and the process develop their own leadership capacity to get the maximum capacity from your colleagues. So what is the transactional leadership, and why did I choose, or why do I prefer that transformational leadership? Honestly, transactional leadership, it is kind of leadership that moves the culture or changes the culture in a very short time, but a very short lifespan. So when a leader steps in an academic entity and they decide to change everything in a very short time, This is called transactional leadership. I don't like this way because, yeah, it takes very short time to approach your target, but once you're out, nobody will follow it. So transformational leadership, this is the real core of the leaders, and it really gets the ikigai of the academic entity and gets the best outcome from every learner and from your colleagues as well. So let me tell you more about my personal experience. Honestly, I joined many schools, and one of the schools I've been joining, it was kind of the experienced academic entity, and they have very long years in academics. So when I joined the academic entity, it was like very harsh to change the mindset, very harsh to change the way of thinking, or the old way of thinking. So if we have here key people or leaders, by the way, I'm not talking about just the principals. I'm talking about anybody who's in charge of change. So listen closely, because honestly, it's based on experience and personal experience, and it's really, really, really helpful to everybody. So when you decide to have kind of transformational leadership, what are the steps that I've been doing? And honestly, it is successful, so you can follow. Number one, you have to be well prepared as a leader. You have to be enriched. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to get to know many aspects, not only the materials or the subjects as kind of subject expert. No, you need to be knowledgeable in psychological level. You need to be knowledgeable in the cultural level. You need to be knowledgeable in your subject as well as a leader. That's number one. Number two, my piece of advice is, that's what I did. You have to be a silent observer for a while. I mean, everybody knows that it's not a matter of just knowing or not knowing. You have to get to know the culture itself. So you have to spend time as a silent observer just to get to know the culture, the announced culture. Then after that, by time, it takes like almost from 1 month to 3 months, okay, just to get to know the hidden culture. And hidden culture is way more important than announced culture, honestly. Hidden culture is getting to know the inter and intrapersonal skills among your colleagues and among the stakeholders that they are running the academic entity, especially if you're joining an entity that's already well established. Then after that, dig deeper. Once you dig deeper to the hidden culture, you need to observe and assess everybody, especially to get to know the key people, the leaders, like, for example, the HODs, the stage principals. You need to get to know them over and over. Then after that, you need to have, and that's very important, because take care, when you have transformational leadership, sometimes you will be having flexible borders of your morals. No. If you want to have transformational leadership, yeah, you need to get to know the culture. You need to know that hidden culture, but you have to be very firm when it comes to the values, when it comes to the beliefs. I'm not talking about the personal dynamics. I'm talking about the values, beliefs, and culture of your own culture as a leader. So you have to be very firm regarding this. Then while you are having meetings and walkthroughs, you have to be very visionary leaders. Have your own vision, clear vision, so your colleagues will understand what is your vision of, or visionary methodologies that needs to be followed. Then while you're having your day-to-day operation, while you're setting your borders, you need to get, this is very important step that I'm telling you about, which is initiators. You have to spot the initiators that you need to start your journey with. These initiators will be like snowball initiators and believers. They will spread the culture and help you out in spreading the culture. Very important thing, while you are applying your leadership or transformational leadership, you and the initiators that you're working on them, like the snowball strategy, you need to give them kind of personalized professional development. It's very important. And we don't have many entities or academic entities that they're doing that. While you are working with them, you have to assess their leadership skills. Everybody of us, they have different, or maybe like same mutual kind of leadership. So you need to assess the initiators first, just to double check which kind of leadership that they can work on. Then after that, do kind of personalized professional development. It really, really helps them out. So they will feel that they
Just a
are learning
reminder,
from
2
you
minutes
something.
left.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, then after that, while you're starting the initiators, take care. You might have some resistant or people who are resisting this. From my experience, you need to warn them first, and after that, you have to get rid of them, because honestly, they will be toxic people. Then take care all the time, lead by example. All the time. Don't just tell them that do that. No, you have to lead by example. Then by time you will feel like you're moving as a wave, you're moving as a culture. Then by time you get your ikigai. Ikigai is very important, and without knowing your ikigai, will be just a lost leader. So if you want to be a leader, know the ikigai and transform the ikigai to the culture that you are providing to everybody and spreading it all over the places. So please, if you have any question, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Esra, and very, very inspirational, and taking a lot of notes as to my own thinking as well. But there were many things that resonated a lot, especially the part of Sun Observer and just taking that part of as the learning. But as for questions, I welcome everybody to send any comments or questions in the chat, and we will be having an official Q&A session at the very end. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we'll be moving in our next speaker, Ms. Rati Deshpande, comes from Maharashtra in India, director and principal of Akar Primary School. And in addition to loving working with children, she brings a lot of energy, joy, and inspiration to wherever she goes. So a warm welcome to Ms. Rati, and talking about dedicated leadership.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Good evening, one and all present here. I would like to thank CCE Finland team for this wonderful opportunity. With the blessings of all, I am here to present my innovation in schooling. Let me start by saying a few words about my own. I'll just share the screen. Yeah. Let me start by saying a few words about my own. My name is Mrs. Rati Aditya Deshpande. I am the director and principal of Akar Primary School from Maharashtra, India. Moving towards the topic, here is a short introduction of our school with our vision and mission statement. As educators, we are trusted to direct and carve the child's overall personality to be independent and strong enough physically, mentally, and spiritually. Childhood is a journey of joy and not a race of burdens. Vision statement of our school, a place to learn, enjoy, and achieve. Akar aims at the development of healthy environment to facilitate joyful learning for life, preserving our Indian culture, and to make our children shine in every walk of life through experience and challenges within the curriculum and beyond. As you can see on the screen, my today's topic is habitual learning and life skills. While working as an educator, we always face many problems of children and parents too. It is said that nowadays, children don't listen to anyone. They don't have self-discipline. They don't even know the importance of time. Due to this reason, I observed several children for a few days. And then it is noticed that the children are not getting the education of habits and discipline, which is constantly showing uneasiness among them. So I concluded that unless they understand the habitual learning and life skills, they will not change their mindset. Now let's see what is habitual learning. Habitual learning is a process of creating systematic habits for battle of life. It may be physical, mental, or intellectual. Habitual learning keeps your mind, body, brain active and in flow. We know that good habits, even if they don't always lead to success, build the foundation for our future. Now you can see the importance of habitual learning. Habit shapes our behavior. It makes better version of ourselves. It helps us to stay focused and disciplined. Now children live a busy childhood with competitive and fast growing world. They have more pressure. Then I realized there is a requirement to manage several tasks in less time. Thus, they need good planning to cope up with the multiple tasks. For this, firstly, we created awareness. You can see on the screen the step-by-step. For this, firstly, we created awareness and importance of habits by giving examples of noble people around the world. We were successful in creating an interest and curiosity in them to accept the challenge. The third part, they all were eagerly waiting for new learnings and made themselves ready to fly high in their educational journey. See what we did? We created this monthly growth planner. You can all see the monthly growth planner. It may be in very low size with their age appropriate activities, which could help them to grow physically, mentally, and socially. These are some activities they should follow for a whole month, even if there is a holiday. We know if we do something every day, it becomes a habit, and they started the challenge enthusiastically. It was important to have the support and involvement of our parents. So they were convinced and they fully cooperated us during the challenge. We asked children to put this planner on the wall where they usually sit for longest time, so they could not forget the challenge. With curiosity, children started putting tick mark on every point they have done in the presence of their parents. You can see this is the chart for whole month from day 1 to it may be 30 day or 31 day of the month. They can write their name, class and month, and they have to submit at the end of the month to the school. So I think no one can able to see this point. So we will go to next slide so you can get a clear idea about the planner. You can see for ideal personality, we need physical, emotional, mental, and social development. For physical aspect, we designed such points like, these are the physical aspects: exercise, get dressed, had breakfast, because many of children don't have breakfast before coming to school, snacks time, homework, and brush my teeth before going to bed. These are the some physical aspects we have pointed that. In emotional and mental development aspect, we said seek blessings from elders. This is our culture from India. Leave for school on time. Set our uniform, shoes, bag for next day. Drawing only on Saturday because we get the interest from them. Weekly art and craft. And now it's time to save money. This is the most important part of our life. Then we went towards social development. Outdoor play, it is must. Reading other than academics books, they can grab the knowledge from other books too, other than academic. Any help to your family, it is mandatory. One good works towards society. This is also mandatory work for everyone who lives in society. Water the plants, participate in competition, participate in oratory club, which was held on first and third Saturday of every month. And the last but not the least, they should talk with their family before going to bed. This is also a social aspect as well as the emotional aspect also, because it makes emotional bond with their family too. While doing this, we were constantly in touch with our parents. To encourage children as well as parents, we make sure to recognize them all who are doing well every week and praise them in school assembly. These are some photographs we got from satisfied parents. You can see the photographs. Children are doing everything on their own, which is the need of the day. Children are getting better day by day with lot of energy and enthusiasm. It leads to their confidence level, which was seen in their academics too. With this planner, we observe the stability in children. We think we have gone these outcomes. They all have learned something new and accurate every day, and then continuously applying it into their lives till today. Habits cannot become part of our lives quickly, but they are trying their best. We believe slow and steady wins the race. Here are some parents' reviews on monthly growth planner by our satisfied and enthusiastic parents. You can, if you can read, please. Please have a look over the reviews of our parents.
Just a reminder, 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, just with the help of above reviews, we are happy and satisfied to conclude that developing habitual learning requires a positive mindset. It is a journey and not a destination. Your habits will determine your future. Thank you. With regards, Rati Deshpande. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation, Rati. I heard about agency and the holistic development of learners, which is something quite key embodied in the Finnish education as well, and including a societal aspect as well. And again, so much. Thank you so much for that presentation.
Thank you very much.
While we are waiting for just a few more presentations, you can already leave any comments or questions in the chat, and we will be having an official Q&A at the very end. But it is time to welcome our fourth presenter, Mrs. Natia Yuvaraj. She comes from Chennai. And fun fact, Chennai was a place in India where I was very, very close of moving right after my university studies and working there. But fate, or whatever you want to call it, came into place, and I ended up moving back to Finland after my studies. But Chennai was very close of, and I would still like to visit one of these days, as it has a special place in my heart. An award-winning early childhood educationist, Natia Yuvaraj, her role as a headmistress and designing her own curriculum with a strong focus on play-based learning for children aged 2 to 6. And again, play-based learning is something very much embodied in the Finnish education. I'm very fascinated to hear more. So the stage is yours, Ms. Natia.
Thank you, Mr. Jerkin, for the sweet introduction. Namaste to one and all present here. Sorry for the late joining. Today is the last fasting day for the Jain community. 6 o'clock in India is a prayer time. So that takes little time to join. I'm sorry for the delay. Straight away, we'll go for a presentation. Don't want to waste a minute. Yes. Yes. Is it visible to everyone?
It's visible.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is the introduction of STEM education to my kindergarten children. This is the first year I have introduced it. It's a grand success. It's beautiful. Sir already introduced me, so it's all the. And recently I got an honor from South Asian international countries for early childhood education, research and development. So I am an Indian representative for that organization. These are some objectives of my lesson. I don't want to describe it in detail. Don't want to waste time in it. as you all aware of it, what is STEM? It's a blended learning about science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It's not only for high school, senior secondary, or higher secondary school. Also, we can implement it from pre-primary, that is kindergarten. So it's the important concept for all the kindergarten. I'm not following any textbook. I strongly believe children learn more from what you are than what you teach. So I prepared my teachers to teach from the heart, not from the book. So every week we sit and research and do what we are planning to do for the next week. So I'm planning my own curriculum, everything. It's all mixed of these concepts in a play way activity methodology. So these are some of the resources I can get it for the reference of STEM education as per National Education Policy of 2020. So it's just a STEM, but I merge the arts into the STEM for the pre-primary. That's kindergarten. The benefits of STEM is you can easily engage students in the creative process. There is no need to pull down the child to your lesson plan. They will automatically attract to your lesson plan and methodology. They will learn to that process. So some of the benefits, it encourages teamwork and communicate well, creativity, communication skill, and more or less the free play is an important thing. They felt the independent, they can do whatever they want. They learn as much want. So what we are teachers doing, we only guide them how to do. The practical critical thinking is the best outcome from the STEM education. So they encourage to think critically. By open-ended questions, we can talk with the children. So these open-ended questions will encourage them to think more. If the chocolate is at the top of the cupboard and there is no one else helped, so how can you take the chocolate? So they'll tell some solutions to that. So they keep on telling and you keep on saying, no, that's not possible. So some child will tell, so I can pull the chair and with the help of the chair, I can take the candy. You said there is no chair in that room. So again, he'll think again. So again, he'll tell, I call Papa to get that. So I said, no, Papa is in office. So he thinks some other solutions. So that kind of open-ended questions will motivate them to think high. And it encourages girls. I know in foreign Finland countries and any countries, the girl education is very simple. But for in India, the girl education is a little bit difficult because the parents don't allow the girl children to go for studies. But in STEM education, the girl children also easily can get into the education part. So it's very difficult for India and South Indian culture. They won't allow the girl children for school. But in STEM education, the parents would love to send the children to learn STEM education because in STEM, we mixed everything together and give it. So it may helpful for the girl children to learn any skill that may be helpful for that girl to learn that skill, practice it, and she can earn it. So the STEM is kind of a skill development also. The synergy of arts and STEM. Initially, it's only science, technology, engineering, and maths, but we merge arts into that STEM as a stream. So if it comes with the art, the children will happily learn anything through the art. You can teach anything through the art. So it attracts them and it motivates them. It's very colorful and vibrant. They will learn easily. I can teach them how to measure the rain. My UKG children, the age about 5 to 6, he can approximately learn the measurement of the rain with one Fanta or Cocoa bottle. How? He can make it, he cut it and measure it with the scale. He can create a rain gauge with the help of the juice bottle. And he can keep it in the open place during the rain. After the rain gets over, he came with that bottle and he clearly tell, ma'am, today the measurement of rain is this centimeter. So that is the impact of the STEM education. The 5-year-old child can measure rain, how much rain. This is education. This is what I want to give to my children. So the practical knowledge, okay. I can take my children to post office once a month, and also to the saloon shop. This is saloon shop. So these are professional, what they are doing. And also I take them to one police station, and I have a timetable like Monday, Tuesday, not a lesson plan of hourly basis. It's a weekly basis. Monday is for musical Monday, art Tuesday, and whimsical Wednesday, or Wonder Chef Wednesday, Fun Friday, or Nature Friday, and Saturday would be a crazy. Most probably Saturday and Sunday will be a holiday. And also every week there is a theme for my kindergarten. They'll come with a crazy hat for 1 week. They'll come with a weird socks with 1 week. So this all simple motivation. Let them come to school happily. So maybe it's all crazy thing I'm making the curriculum, but I felt it's very quite interesting because they love the learning. They enjoy it. These are some of the things: open-ended, cross-disciplinary, hands-on exploration, collaboration, and creativity in STEM. It's automatically will come. See, this is my lesson plan. Simple. So Wonder Chef Wednesday, they can cook without fire. They know how to make dosa. They know how to make sandwich on that Wednesday. On Saturday, it's a freeze play. They have to walk with a barefoot in the open ground. They can collect the leaves, stones, pebbles, everything. Those are the treasures. And the story Saturday. I had a scheme in my school. All the parents could not afford to buy textbook for the children we don't have that habit of bedtime story time with the parents. So I want to introduce it because I admire that system from the culture and all. So I requested my management to give some books. So every Friday I am giving one book to one child. So they take that to the family. So the parents will start to read the story book along with the kid for 1 week. Then every Friday we swap the book. So that is the library for my pre-primary kindergarten children. I'm doing it. That's a library scheme. So they can't afford to buy it. So we bought it and we swap it to every family every week.
Just as a reminder, 2 minutes left.
I'm so sorry. And these are something for a Music Monday. We have created a music wall. Some activities for recycling newspapers. From Grandmo itself, we are taking some points. We have the we used to play with the cycle tires, so we do that, and we have a newspaper. With the newspaper, we can make vessels. That's all. Our children can do that. Yeah, this is for nature walk. We have this is not the picture from my school. I have taken it from internet. Yeah, this is the traditional thing. We do have that mehendi in our culture. So this is the part of the curriculum. I pick each and everything from my culture to my curriculum because everything has one valuable, strong aspect our elders created. So I pulled everything to my curriculum and design it. This is the mehendi and flower. They have to orderly do that flowering. This is for Fun Friday. I told na, weird socks. So one day is bagless day. They'll come very free without any bags. So show and tell is important. Every month we'll give an object. They have to prepare it for 3 to 4 lines, and they have to pronounce it, or they have to recitate it in front of all their friends during the assembly. It will increase the communication for them, and there is no stage fear in it. Yeah, this is for one book. If you take a Dr. Z's, so all the activity revolves around the Dr. Z's book. Yeah, this is that newspaper making. These are some signs from Nature Walk. Sensorial board. From nature, they collect and they can make anything. Paper bowl. Yeah, this is the traditional Indian South kolam, but we have make it as a curriculum for my children. They will do randomly with the rice flour. With rice flour, they will do it with their bare hands. It's a sensory part and also fine motor skill. See? Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope I finished it before my time.
You certainly did to the minute. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
It
for
was
giving me
it
this
was
opportunity. Yes,
it was
I just
very,
want to
very
tell you the education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. So I
well
request all the
well said.
educators to tell kids are not containers to be filled. Okay, they are fires to be kindled. So please, they are very, if the flower is not bloom, you just change the atmosphere, not the plant or flower. So we can try more methodology to do that. We don't have any grades. We don't have any assessment. We have a personal assessment. Like, how can they tell? If they lost, they have to tell their address. They have to tell the father's mobile number. Those are the assessments I fixed. And also the assessment mark is ice cream first, 2 candies second, and 3 chocolates or muffins are the third. So these are no any grades, no any marks. I believe all the children are special in front of God. So everyone is having one unique, that is the teacher job to find it out. Please don't estimate the kid with grades and marks. So we have to help
Beautifully
and
said.
shape them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
It's,
so much.
it's really amazing.
Beautifully
And
said.
I think kids are more fortunate here. Get candies and muffins and ice creams.
Thank you, sir.
Almost like miss. If I had been the student, I would have demanded every day. But then my parents would have been very angry at me and as well as teacher.
I welcome you all to my school. It's
Yeah. Anyway,
opposite to Chennai Airport, sir.
thanks for this. I think we will have all question discussion at the end. So please, everybody, be there. We have
Yes.
last presentation available here. So I'm can this not here? Can you please stop sharing your screen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sure.
I really appreciate this. So we will take to the part, and then after last part, we will have some questions asked by the community as well as educators. And I can see that there are on our CC Finland YouTube channel, we have people from more than 10 countries are right now available. Those who are commenting and asking questions, as well as on Facebook, on our YouTube, on our website also, this is getting part, and also on LinkedIn. So thank you for all the participants for sharing your time. And now this is a time that we are going to discuss and her about this video. Let's see.
Namaste. I'm Dr. Radhika Srinivasan, and I'm here to present to you a case study of some best practices which I have tried at my school in the domain of sustainability education, nature education, and environmental consciousness. So quickly sharing my presentation with you. As we look at sustainability education, the title of my presentation is Sustainable Schools Leading the Way to a Green Future. And I'm going to highlight some of the practices which I have carried out in my school, which I hope would inspire you to do something in this domain of sustainability education. I'm motivated by this thought that the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it, as Robert Swan, the explorer, said. In the interest of time, I'm not going to read out this definition, but pausing here for a few seconds for you to absorb the definition of sustainability. The essence which says is that we should be able to carry out our daily chores and satisfy our needs without compromising the needs of future generations. And these are the key aspects of sustainability: environmental, social, and economic. So this is a mind map of all the elements and aspects that we need to consider while keeping in mind the fact that we want to have sustainable schools, or we want to move on the path of sustainability. So how do we monitor and evaluate? How do we ensure sustainable transportation, community engagement, resource management, water conservation, waste management, curriculum integration, green infrastructure, and sustainable procurement? I'd like to spend a little time on this slide, particularly, which talks about the different aspects of sustainable and green practices in schools. I've kind of bifurcated this into 7 areas, domains, or aspects, or simply 7 buckets. And I'm just going to give you an overview of what can be done in each of these areas. So in school policies, for example, we as heads of institutions or educators are very much in a space to ensure that our policies align with sustainability goals. And for example, no single-use plastic bags or bottles, advocate hankies instead of tissues, no microplastic glitter. So microplastic glitter is the shiny, glittery paper or glue or any such material which looks very attractive but is extremely harmful for the environment. So we have done away with it completely. We reuse all our charts, props, and models as frequently as possible. We do not allow aluminum foil. And similarly with sauce, jam, and pickle sachets, instead we ask parents to send small containers which can be washed and reused over and over again. Because the small plastic sachets are very severe pollutants for soil. Cattle and other animals consume it and they would die eventually because of the consumption of plastics, thin plastics. No shiny wrappers for gifts, no cut flowers and bouquets. We instead either we give a plant or seeds, and that's how we ensure that we are not cutting flowers just for a few minutes to decorate the hall or to give a bouquet to someone. We would rather that we cherish that association with giving them a plant which they will nurture and think of us in future. Minimizing pollution can be done in various ways like promoting carpooling, mandating of school buses, encouraging bicycles. In some cities, major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, it's very difficult to advocate bicycles, but wherever possible, we do try and ensure that students would have a bicycle lane or a place on the school campus to park their bicycles if they do bring their bicycles. Plant noise absorbing bushes and trees. Noise pollution is a very, very severe in metro cities. There's construction, there's transport, there's all kinds of honking. So if we can do something to minimize it, we should. Avoid concretization and maintain soil, which will help to absorb the flood waters, which will help to keep it cool. Concrete becomes very, very hot. It also leads to this urban heat island effect. So it's very necessary that we are mindful that we try and maintain soil. Reuse grey water, encourage the use of metal or glass containers rather than plastic bottles, and review our energy consumption. Coming to events, how can we green our school events is advocate for public transport or carpooling for school events and programs. Choose green themes like the Sustainable Development Goals or a strong message of afforestation, plantation, maintenance and of biodiversity. Try and keep those themes. Reuse the props, as I've already mentioned. Avoid the printing of the physical program on a sheet of paper to give out to everyone. You can flash it on the screen instead, which we always do. We encourage local artisans and bands who can perform. We prefer giving small mementos which are made by local artisans. Like, for example, day before yesterday, we had an overseas delegation and we gave them Bali paintings, and they were so happy to receive something very local and very ethnic from Maharashtra. If possible, do invite green heroes as chief guests. I know that we want to grab eyeballs by calling celebrities, movie celebrities, but these people really deserve the recognition, and they would really be able to motivate students, parents, and the community. So greening of the curriculum is something which can happen in a very broad, integrated fashion. I'm not looking at experts of environmental sciences who will come into the class to do environmental sciences or a sustainability lesson, but rather integrate it into English, into math, into geography, into language arts, into performing arts. For example, a math teacher can say there are 20 trees, and if 3 are cut down, what's going to happen? How many trees are remaining, and then have a small discussion of a few seconds on the dangers of cutting trees. Similarly, for English, we can use green contact as the thing for unseen comprehensions. Let's see how we can influence green purchasing. Look for cleaning products which do not have volatile organic compounds. Buy local and seasonal produce. We do that always. We encourage millets in our cafeteria and canteen menu. We always buy fair trade products. And this is something which we've been doing for a while now. Books made of recycled paper. This is an absolute delight to see the children so engaged with the books which did not have bleached paper, and with a small note saying that, by using this paper, you've eliminated wastage of water by so many tons. So this was very, very impactful. And of course, advocacy, where we can participate in cleanliness drives, e-waste, Tetra Pak containers. We can collect, we can donate old clothes, recycled and upcycled, which all of this we've done, and this has really been very fruitful. Just leaving you with a few seconds to know how the Sustainable Development Goals can be connected to all of the school learning. And in conclusion, I would like to say that the future is indeed green if we put our mind to it. So let's not shy away from our duty of making the future generation ready with the right attitude and mindset to be sustainable and to be conscious. Something to ponder. Thank you.
Okay, so that's
inspirational.
yes.
What an inspirational
Right.
speech. Indeed, and we are sorry that she couldn't make it today, but we will be sharing her contact information as well, that if you would like to ask any questions. So that concludes our 5
Yes, Joachim,
speeches
I
today.
have a question to all our guests actually, and as well as presenters, because I think there is a common questions which are asked during the chat everywhere, and while educators, principals, teachers are implementing these new methods, innovative methods in the classroom, it is perceived, or it is been said always, that the parents' demands are different. So anyone would like to answer this question, that how you would be able to put the parents' expectations and the curriculum completion or the syllabus completion expectations from the government or from the ministry, and how you can be able to manage this balance as a teacher and educator. If anyone would like to answer this question.
Yeah, I can do it.
Please.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, when it comes to the curriculum, let's be sure that we can't change the curriculum when it comes to the Common Core State Standard or the international standards. At the end, we have to stick to the benchmarks. But honestly, this is what I said during the transformation leadership. Beginning of the any scholastic year, you have to share all the stakeholders together, and all of you have to have one culture, one wave together, and set your rules, set very strong rules. So once you set the rules and you share all the curriculum, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, and you assign all of them according to the calendar, but the calendar, it has to be built on based on 190 days. So 100% you can cover, you can work on all aspects. You can work on the character building aspects, on the soft skills, 21st century skills, and as well, just believe me, once the parents, they feel that their kids are really improving, that the kids are engaged, that their kids, they love the school, their kids are having kind of broadened horizons, they will support the school 100%. So the most important thing is you have to know how to personalize the learning experience for every learner and to respect the learner's interests. And it has to be done at the beginning of the scholastic year. Once you do that, everything will be smooth.
Excellent. That's a good thought.
Thank
So,
you.
So making a plan and communicating well in advance to everyone, that's the point number one. Perfect. Anyone else would like to share
Yeah,
some ideas?
I would like to
How
go.
you manage the expectation from the parents?
Hi, I would like to go. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So what we do is, one, everything is scheduled in the calendar at the beginning of the academic year. So the curriculum days or the academic days are planned accordingly so that there is no like overlapping or, completion of portion is not an issue. And in our curriculum overview, we also keep some buffer days. So that is one thing that we are doing. Second, about parental expectations, when we are taking admissions, we are clearly telling them the kind of school that we are and what we believe in. Because, for example, if a parent who is more focused on, say, numbers and grades or marks or, traditional teaching, or is focusing on, okay, is my child able to write 2-3 pages, and it's a traditional mindset, then we kind of slowly, politely put across that would you like to kind of reassess and observe what we are doing, because it is very different to what your perspective of education is. So these are the two things that we are doing in our school, and we are thankfully able to complete the portion and also not have very less parental conflicts.
Excellent. Perfect. I think one of the area where we concentrate nowadays is on transversal competences, because it is not sufficient for these children who are going to compete in the future world of AI and data mining, that they are competing with the basic information, but they need to be put more 21st century skills and competences for that. And unfortunately, parents overlook this fact many times. And it's not only parents, sometimes it can be just system can overlook this fact. And for that, we map the existing curriculum to the competences and to the skills. And that's what actually Esra was also mentioning, that once you match it to the competence and you give this guideline to the parent that this is what the competence looks like for your child, and this is what is expected, and we are doing it exactly as per the plan, then there is no much conflict. If you go on expecting the content is huge. It is impossible to complete all the content in the life. The objective is not to complete the content. The objective is to support the child to learn the skills. So that's a major difference, and I think that's the major forward-looking statement that we can end up today maybe. So thank you very much for everyone. Joachim, do you want to have some closing remarks?
Thank you, honestly,
Yes.
for giving us the opportunity.
Yes. Joachim, do you want to have some thanks, Esra?
Absolutely.
Do you want to have some closing remarks?
Sure.
Joachim?
Sure. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So I'd like to warmly welcome, thank everybody for their speeches, and what I promised to do towards the end was to tell a little bit about our accreditation work, to give it a specific note from the rest of the services that we do. And we'll just quickly show you. Here we are. So accreditation binds together quite well and nicely most of our services, and what we also discussed here about school development, holistic learning, and what are those 21st century skills that we would like to give to our future leaders and learners in the classroom. So accreditation is a voluntary and non-governmental process that exemplifies excellence. And it really, where we talk about, is about global prestige, confidence catalyst, and expert guidance. And we'll show you what it really means in practice. So in the beginning, when we start working with a school, we will ask them to submit a lot of documents to understand what is their current status and what are their goals for the future as well. This includes the frameworks, the assessment methodologies, the books that they're using, and the teacher training as well. And once we start preparing for the next part and evaluation of the accreditation, we will either plan an on-site visit to the school, as we have done with few schools already this fall, where we will interview and we will observe classrooms and talk with the principal, also with the parents and all stakeholders involved in the school everyday life. And from there, we start making a very extensive report that includes what the school is already doing, or the organization, what are the goals, and what kind of programs can we then design as a consultant in between to guide the school or organization to reach those goals. And once those goals are met, or they will be accredited, and there will be a 2-year accreditation, and this will give schools, organizations a lot better understanding of what are they currently doing, and also very tangible programs of how to get to the right direction if there are any areas that they would like to develop in their journey. And what I wanted to show as well, as I mentioned, we are working with a very vast community. So once a school joins us this wonderful journey, we will also share this in our symposiums, conferences, and in our network. So it's highlighting and sharing the success together. And what I also wanted to show you is one other side of things. So just to get an understanding of the who are we working with currently. Here we are. See, let's come in here. So when it comes to accreditation, you can come to our website. I will note it in the chat as well. But we are currently working with schools already in Malaysia, in India and Delhi, in Mumbai, and you can read all about these stories and journeys from the participants themselves and the schools from themselves. So you can learn much more about it in our website and the phases. So the moment that you become interested, there are a couple ways. We will leave our contact information in the chat. So for all the participants of this webinar, we want to give, as a gift of being here today, a 30-minute complimentary session about accreditation briefing, where our expert committee members will be joining you and will be walking you through this entire process and seeing if you are interested and ready to take this journey. And what you can also do is to come to this website and press register here, and you can leave your contact information, and our team will be in touch with you very shortly. So without further ado, there's the accreditation site as well, and I will leave my contact details in the chat as well. And it's such wonderful to have this community here today. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if there was a participant that you missed and you would like to reach out, or you can also reach out to each other. It's always wonderful to see these connections being made in these sessions. But I will leave my phone number 426161 as well as email address. Finland, Portugal. So don't hesitate to reach out to either me or one of my colleagues. And it's been wonderful to have you all. And I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. Are there any questions, comments that you would like to ask before we go? . 。 Thank you so much for all our speakers today. It's been very, very inspirational to hear about your work and hopefully continue collaboration in the near future.